Hi everyone, this video is to give you a brief overview of the variety of communication apps that are available for tablets. Most of these apps are going to be exclusively available for iOS or Apple devices. I will show you one app that is available on the Android market. The reason why most of these apps are now not available in the Android platform is that these are very large apps. There's lots of components to them, and there's just a huge variety of tablets available on the Android market. Google, Kindle, Samsung, there's all different companies that make Android-based devices, and the communication app developers can't guarantee that these robust apps are going to work on every single device on that platform. For that reason, they stick mostly to the iOS because they know an apple is an apple. So they know exactly what types of design is going to be on that hardware. So we're going to start off today with the TouchChat app. It's one of the most popular apps out there. The TouchChat app comes in 3 different levels. There's TouchChat Lite, which has all the capabilities of the full version of TouchChat. The only difference is it has no voice output. Now you ask, why would I want something with no voice output? The important thing about that is that we have a lot of students, particularly who are on the spectrum, that just need that visual model. They need that structure to help them figure out how to make their sentences. So that app provides them the ability to construct sentences and then use their own voice. That app is really economical. It's about $11. So it's, relatively speaking, compared to the other apps out there, it's a pretty cheap way to give some nice visual supports for our students. So let me share my screen so you can see my iPad and some of the options out there. So we're going to start with just TouchChat Lite. And like I said, it has all the capabilities, all the boards of the full version of TouchChat. If you go into the vocabulary selection, all these yellow locks, these are all the boards that it comes preloaded. It has the gateway, multi-chat, word power, quick chat, all those boards in there. It's also really great to have as a way for teachers and speech therapists to be able to review the app and get to know it a little bit more in a cheaper way than having to buy the whole thing on their own. So that's another good option for it. So I'm going to go over to the main version of TouchChat. So TouchChat, like I was showing with the other one, has green locks and yellow locks. A yellow locked vocab page set, like the ones over here, if you see that, those are considered original vocabularies, which means you can't do any editing to them. It gives you a chance to just explore it and see what's there. When you're at the point of which one you want to use with the student, you're going to make yourself a copy. So over in the menu section, you can copy a vocabulary, you can choose one that's in here, and when you do that, it'll give you a chance to have one with a green lock on it. And those are unlocked, meaning that you can do all the editing that you want to with it. So there's multiple levels of TouchChat, like I was saying. The basic version, which is around $150, comes with the 4 Basic SS, which is nice, simple boards for students. It does navigate. So when they say want, okay, and then gives them some simple sentences with that. But again, that may not be enough for some students. So we can choose another higher level. Looking at something like the multi-chat, a lot of our students utilize that one. Multi-chat has adolescent, adult, and student, so that way they can kind of tailor that vocabulary to the appropriate age. Again, this all comes with the basic version of TouchChat. So for example, in the multi-chat student, it has options again for creating sentences, but again, a little bit more access to language without having to constantly navigate a lot. So if you hit I want, it automatically brings you to some common verb choices and make a simple sentence with that. And if you touch it on top, it says the whole sentence together. Clear it and you can go back to home. So there's a lot of nice language in here. Things gives you all your categories, which gives you lots, again, access to lots of nice language. Again, this may not be enough for some students. Some students may be able to do a lot more with their vocabulary. And that's when we go into the higher level of TouchChat, which includes all those other boards, but in addition to that, word power. So let me pull up the word power for you. Word power has a lot of options too, with the smallest position being 20 buttons on a page, going all the way up to 140. Again, we're looking at what's going to be most appropriate for a particular student. Kind of my mantra that I always think about is what's the smallest button they can visually see and accurately touch. And that's usually where I'd like to start with students. So we look at the word power 20. Again, we have some nice sentence structure happening here, kind of going left to right like we do with sentences. As you notice here, you're not going to see the word am. Am's not a high value word, but if you touch I, we get some verbs that come up, but am is one of the choices because it knows that I and am go together. So if I hit am, now all my verbs go to ing endings because because it knows that's how the sentences are typically structured. I am eating, I am coming, I am getting, I am playing. So it has that nice grammar prediction to get some really nice fluent sentences. So if you hit playing, again, and it's bringing you to the toy section too. So again, we're seeing that nice sentence structure being built up for our students. If they can handle this, then I'd like to see if they can handle something with even more buttons per page, which would be the word power 60. Again, more sentences, but we're going that sentence structure again, going from the left to the right with your subjects here, your verbs, and then smaller words after that. So again, lots of opportunity for lots of language without having to navigate to so many pages. The sentences just kind of naturally flow together. It has enlisted all the stuff on here, since this was a yellow lock when we first opened it, comes pre-programmed. You don't have to make any of this stuff. This stuff is just out of the box. This is what it looks like. What you will do for editing is more in terms of personalization. So under their personal questions, you're going to put in my name is, and then be able to put their full name, maybe add their picture to it, let them know where they live, let them know where they go to school. But the nice thing with this page also, it gives them a chance to ask the question back. So if I say, my name is Carrie, I can also then go to you and say, what's your name? And now you have conversational skills being built. So it's another great way for our language to be developing for our students. Because this is fairly robust, you may not know where everything's located. So if you go to the ABC 1, 2, 3 in the corner, down here, say something that says word find. So I can put in here and search the word dog, hit find. And it's going to tell me all the different ways that I can get to the word dog. So I can look under groups, pet, and then dog. And then some of the books we have also have some dog options too. So it has lots of different ways to get to the word dog. Now, the other part of that too, that's going to be very helpful is if a word's not in here. So if I put in the word, let's say, oh, no sunflowers in there. All right, let's think of something else. Let's say, now I hit high chairs, but nothing came up. That tells me that that word is not anywhere in the system. And that may be a word I may have to add if that's an important word for my student. Okay, so that is an overview of TouchChat. So I'm going to take a look at some of the other options we have out there. Another app some of our students use is the Go Talk Now. You may be familiar with that word Go Talk if your student had a low-tech device, those green rectangular hard devices that have a board that slide in and slide out. This is the same company. They just made an app version of it. This one is a little bit more economical. This one is about, I think, $80 for the app. If you have internet access, you're able to download a lot of boards to it. The challenge with this one compared to the other ones is there isn't boards pre-made in the system. You have to download other people's boards or create your own. But again, if a student is only at that very basics level and they're not looking to navigate to lots of different things, they just need that basic core vocabulary, this can be a good option for them. Another app I want to show you is Verbally. Verbally is strictly text to speech. So as you type, the words come up. So it has some prediction in this little section here. So as I start typing the word the, it's already coming up. And if I put in the next word, it's going to start predicting as I go. So it knows where I'm going with it. I can also use the words up here to type out sentences. And then when I have my sentence complete, I would just hit speak and it would speak the sentence. This app is a free app, which is kind of a nice option too. They do make another level version of it. That's about $100. And that one allows you to store pre-made phrases. So if I want to make a set of phrases that are commonly used during circle time or common phrases I use during downtime, like relaxing time, I can make those preset phrases already there. So it's a one touch. So that's an option too, if that's what's important for the student. I've always learned that through the years, never to discount some of the apps like this. I've had students that were overwhelmed by looking at the picture type apps and just being able to type was all they really needed. So it's important always for us to look at multiple options for students to find one that really hones into what they need. The next app I'm going to show is called My First AAC. Again, another very economical app. This one, again, very, very simple. So it just has boards with about 8 buttons to them, short little phrases. So it's nothing very complicated. It's not navigating to a bunch of vocabulary. It's strictly just pretty much labels and some short phrases. Some nice things with it also, it has a little lock up here. So if I turn that on, then you can't navigate. Then it just stays on the page that you're on. So again, not very complex. It's just kind of your basic for your basic needs. So, so it can be an option depending on the needs of the particular student. You can edit it a little bit. It doesn't give you a ton of options, but there are some flexibility with what you put on there. Another app I'm going to show, which is very popular with a lot of our students, is LAMP Words for Life. I know what you're going to say, this is pretty overwhelming. It's a lot of buttons. It's a lot of pictures I'm not really familiar with. It's not symbols that we usually use at school, so it's a little intimidating. It's called LAMP because it stands for Language Acquisition Through Motor Planning. So in their mindset of the creators, it's not so much about the type of image, but it's about the motor plan, how you physically move from one button to the next and where it is, and your mind kind of develops that pattern of where buttons are. And that's where the speed comes from for communication. Unlike the other apps, there is actually no programming to this whatsoever. The buttons are where they are. There is some options for hiding some things as you're training students, but they really have a specific location for all pictures. So that way they're learning about the motor of how to get to the buttons, not so much about creating new ways to get there. So to give a small examples, I'm going to pull up. They also have the word finder, just like you have in the TouchChat. These companies, PRC, who makes LAMP Words for Life, and TouchChat, which is a Sotilla-based company, they're actually sister companies. They actually are overall owned by the same person. So you're going to see a lot of similarities in terms of how the menus are set up and some of the terminology. So in the word finder, if I put the word dog and hit find, here's the path to dog. The word come, pets, and then dog. Unlike TouchChat, where you had 6 different ways where dog was located in TouchChat, in WordPower, it has one location. And that's where you want to learn where it is. You're not going to make a separate page about dog or a separate page about pets, a separate page about it. When you're talking about a book that has a dog, you're not going to make a book page with that dog in it. You're going to teach them, you go back to where the original location is. So it's one location for all the different, for each word. And every word has a unique motor plan, a unique pattern to get there. So like I said, it's a little overwhelming, but once you learn kind of the why of how it's set up, it doesn't start to make some sense. If you look over here where the word are is, it's a verb, it's 3 buttons in, 3 buttons down, that little location. Keep that in mind. So if I open up the word come down here, The main verb come is in that same location, 3 over, 3 down. And then all the forms of come. And then you have also the verbs, animals is where you would find this particular, on this particular page set. If I go back and go to the word do, again, the main verb for it, 3 across, 3 down, it's in that same location. My hand's almost automatically going there because it knows that's where I'm going to find that verb. And then again, other verbs that would kind of go along with do and actions. The way we train students on where everything is, because again, it can be very overwhelming looking at this, is something called Vocab Builder. So under menu, I have a Vocab Builder where I can start building lists of vocabulary that I'm looking to target. So I may not be targeting every word, I may only target 1 or 2. So once you've built the list up in here, you would save it, and then you can go to your file list. So I have one here that's just about learning the words go and come. I'm going to load that file. I'm going to turn on my Vocab Builder. And now these are the only verbs that we're working on. We're teaching how to say come, and we're teaching how to say go. And that's it. For that particular lesson, we're just focusing on there. But now when we take the Vocab Builder off, though that word go and come are in those same physical locations, and the next button is already there. Like you're already learned where things are going to be found. Another slightly larger page that I made for a student. Just pull it up. And load up the file, turn on Vocab Builder. So here's a couple of things. I want to teach the student to say, go for a walk. That she wants to be able to go for a walk when she's feeling stressed. So I knew that I need to say go. Walk. And that's where walk is. So to get to walk, I have to go to fast, walk. And it takes a few clicks and to get used to it. But once they get that pattern down, we can take Vocab Builder off. And we can do the same thing. Wow. So they're in that same location, and it becomes that fast that you get so used to where things are that your fingers are automatically going before even looking at the pictures. So that is LAMP in a nutshell. Again, the biggest thing is about finding locations, not moving stuff around, just teaching that core vocabulary. So that way you're able to use that same vocabulary in multiple settings, not just one particular activity. So this app runs probably around $300, somewhere in that ballpark. And that's kind of par for the course for some of the most robust apps. The largest TouchChat with word power is around 300. This one's around 300. Protocol is around, I think around 280, something like that. So again, they are an investment type thing. So, but you're investing in your students' language. The last one I'm going to show you is something called CoughDrop. I said I was going to tell you that there is one that can be available on Androids as well. So CoughDrop is available on iPads and on the Android market. Why is it called CoughDrop? It was made by a parent who was a student, who was a child who is nonverbal. And when he was thinking about it, if you can't speak and your throat hurts, what do? You take CoughDrop. So that's where he came up with the name. It's an okay app. You would need internet access for it because it doesn't, like the GoTalk one, it doesn't have pre-made boards already sitting in the pile. You have to go on the internet from their server and download different vocabularies and then edit it to meet your needs. So you don't have that kind of already ready to go type page sets. So you have to do a little bit more digging and try to find one that best matches what your child needs. The nice thing, because it also is web-based, is that when you have a child that has this particular app, anyone who works with them, speech therapists or teachers, can also get a free version of the app, so that way that they can also work on boards when the student's not with them. So if I wanted to, I can log into the account, I can make edits and changes to the boards, and the next time the student uses their device and is on the internet, that board will automatically upload the things that I changed on it. So there are some nice features to it too. So there are options. I said it is a little bit more programming intensive because you need to look up boards to fit your student and do a little bit more editing to kind of get it where you need it to be. But if an Android device is your only option, this is a good app that you can use on that platform. So those are the most common devices that we have for tablets. So I hope you found this informative. And as always, if you have more questions about apps and choices for your child or students, please feel free to contact me. Have a great day.